Kill Bill.
Alright, so I just saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood yesterday, and I got bored, and I was like, let's watch Kill Bill 1 and 2. I've had the Blu ray for like over 6 months, and I haven't watched it, so I was like, let's watch it. Why not? This is the perfect time to go on a Tarantino binge. So I went back to one of my favorites, next to Django and Inglourious Basterds. I went to Kill Bill 1 and 2, and I consider them to be one film, so I'm going to touch base and talk about both of them in this review in quotes. It's a spoiler discussion, so if you've seen these movies, stick around. If you haven't, go watch them, then come back. But my only negative with them is that it could be kind of hammy, some weirdness. It's paying homage to old kung fu stuff that I've never seen, so I don't get the little winks and the little tributes it's paying. It's like paying tribute to like that series in the '70s, Kung Fu with David Carradine. And in case you don't know who's in this movie, it's David Carradine. He plays Bill. We got Uma Thurman from Pulp Fiction. She came back. Surprise! Also, I found out that this movie was being talked about on the set of Pulp Fiction. Uma Thurman and Tarantino were talking about it. They wanted to do some sort of bride movie, like a revenge assassin thing, where it's a bride, and that's what this is. It's a bride who gets shot on her wedding night, and she's back for revenge. It's a simple revenge movie, so check it out if you like revenge movies alone. It's a pretty basic, simple, straightforward revenge movies actually, because there's two of them, but I consider it one. It was supposed to be one. It was supposed to be like this 3 to 4 hour movie, and the studio said chop it in half, and that's what Tarantino did. So we got two movies now, but it's really one. All right, it's one at the end of the day, but it's got Uma Thurman, David Carradine, Daryl Hannah, Michael Madsen, all the Tarantino familiars, actors from previous movies, and those are the big ones. There's Lucy Liu. You got Lucy Liu. But these movies are just awesome. The first one, they also got like different feels. The second one's like a spaghetti western. The first one's like a samurai sword kung fu movie. It's more action packed. And the second one's more of an origin story, spaghetti western set in the desert. It's got a lot more character development. It's got a lot more emotion going for it. And the first one's just fun and bloody. So that's more my cup of tea than part two. But I will say part two is probably the better made movie compared to the first one, where because this is Tarantino's first attempt at action, so I think he was just kind of getting you got used to it by the end of the first one, and the second one's a lot better. I think the action scene with Daryl Hannah and Uma Thurman's probably better than the whole third act of Kill Bill 1. But let's talk about these movies. I told you my negative. It can be kind of hammy, kind of over the top, but it's Tarantino. That's what he does all the time. You expect over the top violence, and it gets there. It's over the top. When heads get chopped off, it's a sprinkler system of blood. When people get their arms chopped off, again, there's blood pouring out for minutes on end. They don't bleed to death. It's crazy. But yeah, we could have used a little bit more backstory to Uma Thurman than we get, which is basically nothing. We just learn how she learned what she learned, and that's it. But other than that, everything else is positives. I like this movie. It's awesome. So we open up the first one. Like I said, I'm touching base on both because my phone's about to die, and this is all the time I have to make a review right now. So just get it over with. So it opens up with black and white, and I like the style choices that Tarantino uses. I like the whole black and white thing. It's pretty cool. And when that in the third act, she like blinks and it goes to color. But she gets shot in the head, and I like this movie kind of like Pulp Fiction. It's shot out of order, kind of a ballsy move because then it like tells you like she's gonna make it, because at the beginning she's scratching off number two, or number one's already scratched off, so you're like, oh, so she's gonna make it in this scenario in the third act because we know that name gets scratched off. So ballsy direction by Tarantino, and the whole red filter thing, the siren noises that plays, it's hilarious. I remember seeing this movie when it came out. I was like 8 or 9, and I was at my cousin's house, and we were to watch this. And every time she like saw someone on her list, it would have this red filter, and then that music would start playing, that siren, and it was so corny. I'm guessing that's a tribute to something else, but I remember I would just rewind it each time. I would just rewind it, play, and just laugh my ass off at that siren music. For some reason, it was just hilarious to me. But yeah, and then but she's fighting Copperhead, And I just love this whole scene. It's funny. It's a whole big bag of emotions. You got tension. It's very sad because she's basically going to get killed in front of her daughter. And I think it's an important scene because we get to learn a little bit about Uma Thurman's character, which, not her name. We don't know her name till the second movie. That's another weird choice I don't get, is why we don't learn her name. What's that for? Why is her name such a big secret? I don't get it. But we learn that she, not just because she's a stone cold killer, doesn't mean she ain't got a heart. She's got a heart. She's like, I'm not gonna kill you in front of your daughter. But they're fighting, and then the school bus like shows up in the background. The kid walks in. It's like, what the fuck you doing, mom? What's going on? So funny. You got all these emotions. It's tense. It's kind of sad, like I said, but it's funny. It's got all this dark humor. It's amazing. But yeah, bleeps her name. And then for some reason, I guess she saw this day coming. She has a cereal box with a gun in it. Or was this cereal company giving out free guns as a toy? Maybe. I doubt it. But she's a terrible aim. She somehow misses Uma Thurman by a long shot, and she only had one bullet in it because she never tries to shoot again when she sees that she missed. So, nitpick, just a little nitpick. But yeah, then it goes back to the wedding crime scene, and the sheriff shows up, and he has 4 shades on the dash of his car, and then he turns, pulls into the wedding reception places parking lot. The shades are glued to the dashboard. Bullshit. Those shades would have slid back and forth. Again, nitpick. Just want to point that out. But interesting fact, that sheriff is Michael Parks, the actor, and he plays the Mexican guy in part 2. And I think there's another actor. Yeah, the bald Asian guy with the black Batman thing, whatever. I don't know. It's got the Zorro. Is that what it is? He's got the black mask. Okay, well that guy who's in part 1, he's in part 2 as Pai Mei, the guy with the long, ridiculous white beard. So we got actors playing more than one character. So I thought that was interesting. Want to point that out. But yeah, then we get the iconic whistle. I can't whistle for shit, but it's iconic when you hear it. There's the dog whistle, and then there's the Kill Bill whistle. Those are the 2 famous whistles I know. And then a mosquito wakes up Beatrix, Uma Thurman. But just to go back real quick, when Daryl Hannah shows up, I thought it was hilarious that her disguise that she puts on, she has an eye patch with a red cross on it. I thought that was kind of corny, but again, it's the movie. Fits the tone. It's a pretty even tone throughout both of these. But yeah, a mosquito lands on Beatrix, and that wakes her up. And then this confused me. She looked at her palms, and she was like, it's been 4 years. She read her palms, and she was like, oh, I know it's been 4 years because I memorized how many lines were on my hand before, or what? I don't get that. Someone explain that to me. I'm not going to look it up because my phone's about to die. So I'm not sure how she was able to look at her fucking hand and be like, oh, it's been 4 years. But whatever. And then we get the Rob Zombie character, who's the rapist, just like in Rob Zombie's Halloween. He's letting people come in and rape comatose victims. Like, all right, she's good. Rape her, have fun. And here's some lube. She's drier than a bucket of sand down there. And just kind of like, it's Tarantino dialogue, but it kind of has a hint of Rob Zombie vulgarness right there. And it just reminds me of Rob Zombie's Halloween. But who the fuck would hire this guy? He has a tattoo of the word fuck on his knuckles, and then he drives a truck with flames on it and the word pussy wagon spray painted on. And that's the car he drives to work, and all his colleagues see that truck pulling in, and they trust that guy to take care of comatose victims and not rape them. That's probably the most asinine part of the whole film, is that alone. That is the most ridiculous shit ever. Pussy wagon, really? Fuck tattoo. You want that on your fist for the rest of your life? Is that how you fuck people? You fist them? That's all you do? It's just dumb. And then we get this anime origin after Uma Thurman's wiggling her big toe, which is Tarantino's foot fetish coming into play. It's not as egregious as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but it's the one moment in both of these films that are one where you see a lot of foot actions. Right here, they just it's zooming in on her toes, and it's ugh, Can I look now? Is it gone? No, it's still there. Fuck. But then we get this anime origin story, and I'm thinking it's a style choice, or I'm thinking it's style. Either that, or the studio's like, this movie's too bloody, you're gonna get X rating, so make this bloody scene cartoon. Make it a cartoon. But I think it's a style choice. But she's in the car for 13 hours. Seriously? It says 13 hours later, and you're telling me that after murdering 2 people, no cops found the bodies and no cops searched the pussy wagon, that guy's car? They know what he drives. It's the most. It stands out the most. They would know that's that guy's car, and no one checked. It's the easiest town to commit murder in. It's like Woodsboro and Scream. The police suck. And then she just wakes up from a coma and then takes a plane to Okinawa or some other island below Japan, or it's Japan, but it's below Tokyo. How does she have a passport? How does she have an ID? She didn't bring. How did she get the money? You need a passport, you need ID. This is post 9/11. She ain't going fucking nowhere. Just want to point that out. So I thought that was bullshit too. And then we get the over the top decapitation, gore, head spewing out, the blood spewing out, the neck hole. Awesome shit. We got Lucy Liu in this. Is she in Grey's Anatomy? I forget what she was in. And then we get this annoying music. They hired this real Asian band, these 3 girls, to come in, and they're all barefoot. Is that their niche? Or is that Tarantino? Like, can you be barefoot? I want to look at your feet. But their music sucks. It's the woohoo, woohoo. It was in Team America, and then there's even like this audio cue in the movie that is in Team America that they took from this film. So I think about Team America when I watch this movie, which is always a positive, and I think about Robot Chicken. I can't not think about Robot Chicken, where they did the parody where they had Jesus Christ as Uma Thurman's character, and then they had the Easter Bunny as Lucy Liu's character. Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. And they say that in this movie, so I was surprised. I was like, oh, they actually do say that? I thought that was just Robot Chicken. But I guess it's because her name's Beatrix. Trix the cereal. That's the connection I made. But yeah, there's this musical cue, and the music is very loud, it's very fast, and it just keeps going, and like, it's annoying. And then this one chick gets her arm chopped off, and 20 minutes later after the fight, she's still just sitting over there. She never left while she had all that time. Did she stick around like, I want to see this fight, I want to see her die, and then she didn't die. She's like, oh fuck, I gotta go now. But then she got caught. But yeah. And then the go-go fight, the little chick, 17-year-old go-go girl with that metal ball. Why she didn't have the blade coming out of it originally? Why she waited 5 minutes into the fight to then pull out the blade and then start using it? I don't know why. But I love her death when she like hits that wooden like leg that fell off of a table and has like a nail sticking out of it. She like bam, whacks her right over the head. And then I love this audio cue in it too, because it's funny when Uma Thurman lands on the table. You hear a bowling pins, like the sound of bowling pins when a bowling ball hits it. It just sounds like someone got a strike. Just little things like that. It's just dark humor, funny ass shit. It's hilarious. But then there's the iconic scene where she's killing the whole room full of people, and they call themselves like the crazy 88s. It's ridiculous. It's over the top, but I love it. It's awesome. And I love that it changes up. It's not just this long, drug out scene of the same type of kill over and over and over again. They switch it up. One guy comes in with axes and he's throwing them. She catches one, throws it back, and then she's like jumping up on the second floor, and they got like that silhouette room, and it's like all blue, and there's just black shadows fighting each other. And then she sees the one kid, and she like chops his sword in 5 pieces and then spanks him on the ass with the sword, which Mythbusters said you can't chop a samurai sword with another samurai sword. But this is the Hanzo sword, the Hans something sword. It's the sharpest steel that can cut God. That's how sharp it is. But yeah, then it's snowing outside all of a sudden. It wasn't snowing when she was driving there, her matching motorcycle, which I thought was funny. It's like she got a motorcycle to match her outfit, but it wasn't snowing, and then it was just pouring down snow, and it was like a couple inches outside. So I was like, where'd all the snow come from? It's to be, a visual. It works. I like it. But I was just like, where did it come from? I thought it was like the summertime, now it's winter. And then she chops Lucy Liu's head off right here, Brian Quinn style, in Victor Crowley, except her head brain doesn't just like pop out corny like a cartoon. But I thought that was an awesome death that always creeped me out as a kid. And then we get this cliffhanger that her daughter's still alive. Dun dun dun. Part 2 coming next year. Which, like I said, it's really part 1. It's all one story. It's like the first 5 chapters in this one, and then it's like 6 through 9 or 10 in the second one. Was there anything I left out? No. I think that was all of it. Like I said, that was all of it. Alright, we got part 2 now. Let's talk about part 2. I go back and forth. I think I like these the same. I don't know which one's better. I mean, part 1 has all the shit that I like as a horror fan, but part 2 has all the character development, the origin story, a lot more better performances, especially by David Carradine, who unfortunately passed away in Bangkok. Funny name for a city. Strangling himself while masturbating in 2009. So he was married 5 times. I looked that up. He was married 5 fucking times. And there's another asinine thing about this film. Not only Buck, who likes to fuck, that guy, the nurse, that's number 1 most unbelievable shit in this film. But number 2, Bill is a player. He's got Beatrix, he's got Daryl Hannah, and they love him. He's like 20 years older than them at least. And they look up to him because I guess he's just got that confidence. I guess it's true what ladies say. They just like guys with confidence. They don't give a fuck how much muscle you got or how funny you are. If you're just smooth like David Carradine and you look old and wrinkly, they don't give a shit. It's not like he's got a lot of money. He says that they get paid a lot for what they do when he's trying to talk Beatrix out of getting married. He's like, why would you want to leave, making a lot of money, killing people? And then we see his brother Bud, who I guess is either A, not good with money, or B, Bill's a fucking liar and you don't get paid a lot because he lives in the fucking trailer in the middle of the desert and he's a bouncer at a strip club making probably fucking nothing, which I like that scene where he's at the strip club. It's got that Tarantino dialogue going, and the boss is like, you used to work on Wednesday, but not anymore. I'm scratching your name out. No, Thursday? No, same thing. You're not working. You're fucking fired. You're as useless as the asshole right here. Love that character. He stands out. He's just a small role, but he stands out. I remember him now. Every time I think about this movie, I'm going to think about the guy who owns the club because he really stuck out. I loved him. But then I was thinking, why does Bud take so much shit as a former badass assassin whose brother is the same thing but a couple notches higher, more badass than him? He's going to take that shit just like, all right, yeah, you can boss me around, boss. You don't talk I mean, I don't know. I was like, really? He's just going to take that shit? We get a Samuel Jackson cameo because Tarantino can't make a single film without Samuel Jackson in it. And then we get a Sid Haig cameo. Thought that was cool. And then we go back to the wedding, and I thought it was weird that Beatrix was kissing Bill twice on the lips after just telling her fiance, that's my dad, and they're clearly in sight of the whole wedding party. So it's like, you're going to get caught. Why are you making out with your pretend dad, I just thought that was weird. So, nitpick. And then, Bud takes a lot of shit. Bud's poor. I guess being a killer is not very profitable. And then he shoots Beatrix Kiddo, with these rock salts instead of just a shotgun. I guess he can't afford shotgun shells. I don't know. But then he buries her, and then this is probably the third most asinine part of the whole fucking movie, where we go back and we learn that she can break wood with the 3-finger punch, 3-inch punch. What if your enemy's up close? How are you gonna kill them or attack them? So she learns how to punch wood real up close. So it's foreshadowing. This is how she knows how to get out of the coffin, and she breaks out of the coffin over 6 feet below the ground, and then just somehow is going all the way up. It reaches the top without all the dirt going down her nostrils and mouth or just getting in her lungs. all that weight of the earth just going down on you. There's no fucking way she'd get out of there. I don't care if you break it open, that's still the end of you. Alright? And how long did it take for her to do that? Because when you get buried alive, you got a few hours before all the oxygen's used up in that coffin. So I take it she got out within a few hours. Because if it was like next morning, I'd be like, bullshit. She would have died. Lack of oxygen. But yeah, I always thought that was the worst way to die growing up because I always imagined if you got buried alive, you would be buried for like a week or two until you died of starvation. But no, you'd just die from lack of air in like 5 hours. So there's the good news if you ever get buried alive and you're worried about that. Don't worry, you're going to die in like 5 hours. So not a week. Just some positivity for you. And then, yeah, this movie foreshadows the 5-finger palm explosion heart thing where you can like hit a guy in the chest and like 5 different pressure points on the chest, and then if you take 5 steps you die, and then they use it later on. But my question is like, okay, if you do that to me, I can just be in a wheelchair the rest of my life and I can still live. So I think they need to explain the rules of this little thing a lot more, because Bill at the end of the movie, he gets hit 5 times and then he's like, oh, you learned it? And she's like, of course I did, dumbass. I just used it on you. And then he just gets up and walks 5 steps later, falls to the ground dead. But it's like, dude, you could have just sat there. You know, plenty of people live from a chair. And they do it just well, alright? They're fine. So, it's not like she killed you. You could have made it. But yeah, then we get the whole training montage, and like the guy weighs 0 pounds because he like lands on her sword. And she's like holding him up. So either he weighs 0 or she's strong as fuck and that blade's strong. She could have just dropped the sword and let him fall on his ass. Haha, bitch. How you like that, Pai Mei? I got you. Fuck your beard. But yeah, and then we learn that Daryl Hannah poisoned him, and he's the reason why she's missing an eye. And then, best part of the movie, the whole fight and how it ends, she just snatches Daryl Hannah's eye out and leaves her in that trailer completely blind with a black mamba just in there somewhere. So not only can she not see to escape this little fucking trailer, but there's a black mamba in there. So something's gonna kill her. Starvation from being in the middle of the desert, poison from the black mamba, or maybe she'll bleed to death from her eye holes. I don't know, but I just love that scene. Her performance, Daryl Hannah, she's screaming. You know, she was like a total badass. Now she's like crying, like, "How the fuck did you get you fucking cunt? You ripped out my only eye." And it's just hilarious as hell. I love it. So that's the best part of this whole movie by far. Because then after that, it kind of becomes slow. You see Michael Parks, and it's like, okay, we get it. Where's Bill? Can we get the Bill? I'm tired of this fucking Tarantino shit. I get it. You like dialogue. Let's move on. It does get kind of slow after that. But just to jump back on that Black Mamba thing, I like how when they're fighting, the Black Mamba never tries to attack them again, and they don't care that there's a Black Mamba right there. They're just still fighting. It's like, there's a Black Mamba right there. So, you should act like it's a big deal, because it's a big fucking deal. Ridiculous. But yeah, the Master, aka Chinese Colonel Sanders, funny. And then her fingers when she's like hitting the coffin, it's like her knuckles are bleeding. Ugh. For some reason that just grosses me out more than anything else in the movie, is when her knuckles are bleeding, hitting the board. It gets me. Elle, played by Daryl Hannah, drives my dad's dream car, a 1979 Pontiac Trans Am, the Firebird, or like the Phoenix on the hood. That's my dad's dream car. So I saw it, I was like, hey, that's my dad's dream car. And then her name's revealed, and I just didn't get it. It's like the way they reveal it, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, that's what it is. It's like, oh, Beatrix. Okay. Why is it bleeped? Again, maybe that's something to do with old kung fu shit, and it's like paying homage or something. I don't know. But why is her name bleeped? And why is this such a secret? And then, when her name's revealed, there's this weird fucking flashback to her in this Chinese, Japanese elementary school. And there's all these 10-year-olds around her, and she's current age. Like, here I am, Beatrix Kiddo, 35, and I'm still in this fucking 10-year-old classroom. I didn't get that. Why was that needed? That just felt so odd and random. It reminded me of that random sex scene in Glorious Bastards where all of a sudden you see a woman and all of a sudden it's like she's banging somebody or she's getting banged and then it just cuts away again. It's like, what was that for? So that's what that reminded me of. It was weird. And what else happens in this movie? Padme, weird name. Flashback, rips out eye, sheriff, blah blah blah. Okay, the kid's a fucking Michael Myers in the making. We find out that she killed her goldfish. I don't think Bill is a good father figure for her. She kills her goldfish, and she's like, yeah, I took it out. Then I stomped its guts out. Yeah. And it's like, whoa. That's fucking Michael Myers right there. So Uma Thurman's got some major baggage right there. She's going to have to, like, rewire her daughter and try to make things right real quick. She's 4 years old. There's still time to adjust her brain, you know, and teach her morals and right from wrong. It's not too late. So she's got to teach her that killing is wrong. I didn't even remember that about this movie. When I was watching it, it totally took me back. I was like, whoa, she killed a fucking goldfish. Brutal as fuck. I don't care. It's just a goldfish. People flush them all the time. Who gives a shit? No. It's still murder. She fucking stomped it. That's vicious. If my daughter, for some reason I was dumb enough to have kids, and I had a daughter, and I came home and she stomped a goldfish, therapy right there. Taking her to therapy, calling her Michael Myers from then on with my friends, like, yeah, my kid's fucking psycho. It was just crazy. And then nobody at the hotel that they're living at, this big old fancy condo in Mexico. Bill shoots like 3 rounds. Nobody comes. No cops, no security, hotel maintenance, anybody. Nobody shows up. So it's like, really? Bullshit. Bullshit. And then, what's this asinine thing number 5? The 5th most ridiculous thing about these movies is truth serum. I hate it when it shows up in movies because I don't believe in that shit one bit. But Bill doesn't trust Beatrix, and so therefore he hits her with a truth serum and he asks her questions, and it's just ridiculous. Truth serum, whatever. It's like, it's just dumb. I don't know. I don't get it. It's a lazy thing to me, kind of, you know? It's just dumb. But yeah, I think that's all of it, really. If I left out something, let me know in the comments below. But overall, I think this movie, 1 and 2, one movie, one continuous story. I think it's a great, simple, straightforward, just revenge movie. Great acting, great blood and guts, and just that third act in the first movie, and the first 2 acts in the second movie. That's like the middle of the whole duology, so to speak. That's the best. I like the opening fight in the first one, but then, I don't know. I think it's a great movie overall, Kill Bill 1 and 2. So, therefore, I gotta say, when it comes to Kill Bill 1 and 2, buy it. Seriously, buy it. These are fun, over-the-top samurai movies, and this is probably the first strong female lead movie of the millennia before it became like a main trend that we got going on now where every movie is like a strong female lead. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but this one really got it going. This one probably did it first. Because think about before 2003, how many movies had a main strong female lead in action films? I can't think of many. So this one probably started it. So that's a positive. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Kill Bill 1 and 2. Let me know what you thought about this movie in the comments below. Is it your favorite Tarantino film? My top 3 or 5. Glorious Bastards, Django Unchained, Kill Bill. Love them. But let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Hit this like button over here to show your support. Then you can follow me on my social media links. I got them popping up right here, and I got them in the description box below. You stay up to date with my life if you give a shit. I don't care if you don't care, whatever. But you could become a subscriber today, which I highly recommend you do. I would appreciate it. And you can do so just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.